Hey everyone, hope that you had a good week, and this is for Chapter 7, the Civil and Administrative Law chapter. This week I didn't have a whole lot of questions on the reading. A few things popped out to me, but anyway, looking at it, the difference in the civil and the criminal trials, one being, civil being the requires proof by a preponderance of the evidence, and then the criminal trial, it's proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I like the example given about O.J. Simpson on that. So also the table 7.1 on page 171, that was really nice, the breakdown between the criminal and the civil, and I just really like that. I like tables and looking at things like that. So I enjoyed that. But let's see. The part about being able to hold somebody liable in both civil and criminal courts, reading that, I was kind of confused, but then they pointed out, or the book, it was stated that it does not constitute double jeopardy. So, and then at first, reading about the fee simple absolute estate, I did have a question about that, but because the book says a fee simple absolute estate is one in which the property interest does not revert to the original owner. But then in research and looking it up, the fee simple is just complete ownership, so it's okay with that. Part about common law marriage, and that just struck me because they said, it's even though they're not married, that it had the part in there about filing a joint income tax. So I wondered how that went as far as the IRS was concerned. Two people filing a joint even though they're not married. Just basic question. And then an annulment. The book indicates that may be obtained if someone lacked the legal ability to consent to marriage, which is, underage, mentally incompetent, drugged, are already married. So that's the part that got me, the already married, because bigamy and polygamy in the United States, as far as I know, that's illegal. So I just wondered how, if they went to seek an annulment because they were already married, if that would in turn trigger a legal action because they were already married, thus bigamy or polygamy. The environmental law section I enjoyed. That was my livelihood for many years, dealing with the different laws and the environment. So it's relatively new, but they realized that just the actions of some were going to create a mess for others. In the section, or in the video section, the abortion in laws. Abortion, that's very controversial, and of course at my age I've seen where abortion was illegal at a point, and then it became legal, and now the push again for illegal. Personally, it's a huge topic to get into, and I think that's a personal issue. There's instances, rape, and so forth that come into play. I know I'd heard about, basically a nun who had gotten raped. It was against her religion to get an abortion, but yet the church kicked her out due to being pregnant. So, there's instances on that. Again, I think that's pretty personal. The civil commitment video, I like that. I had no idea that places like that existed. So I think that getting people out of the mainstream and actually getting them therapy and trying to get them back into the public is good idea, but I really like that. The issue highlights the different Trump, Obama. Trump he wanted to take out a lot of the laws. Obama wanted, seems, more laws. So, getting into that, it says, like Obama wants to go back to the days when businesses were unregulated. Well, again, being in the environmental field, the regulations coming in the 1980s, basically, I'd worked out in the field where a lot of the mom and pop stations were closed down because environmental came in. People had a little hindsight about it, and they'd go to the mom and pops and they'd say, hey, I own the USTs, or underground storage tanks, but I'll sell them to you for $1. And of course these people, hey, great, I can own these. And the law, they became owners of the USTs, and then suddenly they became owners of a huge mess. And a lot of the mom and pops closed due to that because they had no insurance, they had nothing, and they had huge, what we called lust, the leaking underground storage tanks. So they were held liable financially for a huge mess. So, the mess is incurred by one again, and they're held liable. So that's a huge debate. I'm a conservative person myself, but I think certain things need to be regulated and certain things don't. And I'm looking forward to everybody's opinions on this. I think this is a great week as far as understanding. I didn't have a lot of issues, a lot of problems with the chapter. It's about the best, easiest read for me. But looking forward to everybody's opinion. The discussion board should be a fun one this week. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks.